Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Unity Center of Des Moines. If you didn't know, my name is Stevie Lang. Maybe you're joining us online for the first time, and we would just like to welcome you into the space and let you know that Unity Center of Des Moines is a place where we practice positive spirituality without the dogma. So we welcome you just as you are and are just glad that you're here. We recognize that each person is on their own unique spiritual journey. If you didn't notice, I see a couple new faces out there. As you came in, there were little packets that said, "Welcome to Unity," and you're free to take one of those with you. It has a little reading material and some more information about how you can learn about the Unity movement. Let's begin with song. I'm going to maybe sing along with Deb a little bit. The lyrics are up on screen, and we love it when you sing along. Thinker who thinks and does, but changes things that shape my life. One thinker who thinks and does, I have the power to change my life. One thinker who thinks and does, but changes things that shape my life. One thinker who thinks and does, I have the power to change my life. One thinker who thinks and does, changes things that shape my life. Sometimes I have the power to change my life. I have the power to change my life. Yay! I love that song, and I sing it to myself in the morning sometimes because we do have the power to create our reality, whatever we would like it to be. And Joy's going to talk more about that when she comes up later. So announcements. Let's see. FYI, new members from the last new member class will be officially welcomed 2 weeks from today on June 28th. If you happen to notice in the community room, as you face the blackboard on the right-hand side, there are now several opportunities to sign up for things, including the greeters, the treat schedule, and also if you happen to be handy and have some handyman task things that you can help out with, there's a list of those opportunities as well. And just grab a pen and write your name down. Really appreciate all the help. We are community supported, and we're just asking to do what you can. Don't overextend yourself, but when we all pitch in, it all gets done. So I thank you in advance for that. Also, as a reminder, in the atrium and back there on the prayer box, right under that painting, there are prayer request forms. Our prayer team met this morning, and how we've been doing it is when you put in a request, we pray for you as a group confidentially for 1 month. So if you have something ongoing that you would like to continue to be on that list, just make sure that you keep putting in a new request every month. And part of this is recognizing that we are all our own sovereign beings. So allowing and asking for what you want is a key element in having it manifest in your life. So once a month on those prayer requests. Special events this week, starting with today. At 4:30 p.m. is going to be the cacao ceremony with Deb Jennings. And then at 6:30 p.m. is the new moon gong meditation. And she'll talk about the energies of the new moon. And from what I hear, it's a pretty big one happening right now that's going to be impacting us for quite some time. So come set your intentions and feel that healing energy of the gongs. Then Thursday, this coming Thursday, June 18th, is the next chip happens. And the performance is from 6 to 7 p.m. The doors open at 5:30, so you can come in and get settled, and then they stay open for a while after. It's just a great time to come together, listen to some good music, and get to know each other. And it's a free will donation, so no charge to come in. So come enjoy that Thursday, 6 to 7 p.m. Then next Sunday, the 21st, is the summer solstice. What? Of 2026. Summer solstice is here. next weekend. So there's going to be the big pyramid event at 4 o'clock with Laura Jones and Deb Jennings. And you can read more about that in the newsletter and online. And then Thursday, June 25th is going to be the Healing Song Circle with Susan Kellogg and I. And they've just, Brad was there last time and Greg was there last time. And, just come together and sing and do music. And it's a way to connect with Source and have joy. So you can join us for that at 6:30 p.m. on Thursday, June 25th. Are there any other announcements that I either forgot or did not know about? Sweet. What? Yes? Oh,
volunteering.
yes, I did mention that just before you came in. But Elena, right there, is the one that does the treat schedule, and she's going to be doing a new schedule starting in July. So we could really use some more assistance with bringing treats together, and you can ask her any questions that you have about that process and how it works. Again, we're not asking anyone to overextend. But when we all pitch in, you could even team up with somebody if like the expense of the whole day is too much, just let her know and you can team up with somebody. Sign up is in the community room. So, or you can see her. Then what else? What about celebrations? We call it the celebration service because there's things to celebrate. Summer's coming or summer's here. It's been feeling like it, right? Any other celebrations? Yes.
I just want to celebrate that I feel really good today. I feel super alive.
Yes.
So it's a great.
Yay! I also feel super alive. Yes, and I feel like, I don't know, Deb, if you want to speak to this, but my experience of the universal energies right now is like, just get rid of everything that is weighing you down. We don't need to carry it anymore. We can just let it go and feel good and alive. If you see me on Facebook, you can see videos, but I've got a new relationship that's really exciting and wonderful. And the element that we now have is our dogs are integrated. So if you're a dog person, you know that means something, yes. And I'm just enjoying having exposure to a new canine friend and going through the training process and just having those experiences in the moment. So I'm celebrating life and love and happiness. So thanks everybody. Any other celebrations? All right, well, the sun is shining and the air conditioner works. Let's go to our statement of faith that's going to be up on the screen. And let's say this all together. There is only one power active in my life and in the universe, the divine source of all life and love. And next, the unity affirmation. And as we say this together, if you could really allow yourself, maybe uncross your hands and your feet and just sink into your chair and feel the support of the universe, of the ground beneath your feet, and feel the oneness that connects us all. As we say together, Unity of Des Moines is a radiating center of divine light, mighty to attract its good and to radiate good to others. And with this spirit of oneness, I have a list of people who have asked to have their names read aloud during the Sunday service. And we just want to surround them with the vision of them living their highest good, their highest self, surrounded in love. Elena, Allie, Annabelle, Ben, Carla, Seal, Chad, Dave, Dawn, Jim, Jotsana, Jody and family, Julie, Laura, Matthew, Paul, Steve, and people with struggles we know nothing about.
And holding those precious hearts, asking for prayer in our own hearts. We'll now move into a time of meditation. Lately, I've been calling this a pause for peace, knowing that peace is always inside of us if we remember to connect with it. And by doing a pause, we can remember that connection. So sink into your chairs, let them support you. Let your body begin to relax. Let your mind quiet. And bring the awareness to the breath. Breathing in peace, calm, and relaxation. And breathing out any obstacles to those qualities. As we slow our breath down and elongate the exhale, we reset our nervous system into balance. And it just feels good to pause and connect with the peace in your heart that is always available to you. Feeling it expand with each breath. Taking a moment to breathe in unconditional love for yourself, loving and accepting yourself just as you are, right here, right now, at this moment. And bringing out gratitude for this time to love and nurture yourself today. And today, let's invite in the vibrations of abundance in every area of our lives. It's not just about an abundance of money or finances, but friends, joy, food, happiness, whatever area of your life. Let it be abundant living for you in this moment. And we'll take that vibration into the silence. Feeling balanced, aligned, centered, and grounded, abundantly blessed in every area. Bring your awareness back now again to your breath. And this time, let's breathe unconditional love for each heart in this room. And breathe out gratitude that each one brought their energy to join with us in community today. And then we'll do another expansion of that breath from deep within our bellies. And let that unconditional love flow to all beings everywhere. And breathing out gratitude for all that is. Everything unfolding in divine order. Blessings abound even when we can't see them initially. All unfolding for our highest good and our soul's growth. You can gently begin to open your eyes and take in this beautiful space we are blessed to gather in every week. Let that gratitude overflow in your heart and come fully back now.
Thank you, Deb. The daily word for today is taken from Psalm chapter 9, verse 1, which says, I will give thanks to the Lord with my whole heart. I will tell of all your wonderful deeds. It has been said that what I appreciate appreciates. The more I give thanks for what I have, the more blessings I will discover. Practicing gratitude in all circumstances helps me realize how abundantly blessed I am. When I remember all the good that God is, more good is revealed to me. Taking a breath, I give thanks for life. Opening my eyes, I give thanks for the clarity of spiritual vision. Listening deeply, I give thanks for divine wisdom. With each bite of food, with every sip of water, I feel grateful for my body and my physical senses. There is so much to appreciate, from the small everyday things to life's most grand events. Giving thanks with my whole heart brings me joy. I practice appreciation for all that I am, all that I have, and all that I do. The affirmation that goes along with this, I'll say it once and then if we can all say it together, is this. I express appreciation for my many blessings. I express appreciation for many blessings. Okay, and let's have another song. And this time, yeah, Deb will follow along with Deb. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything. Love is my source, love is my power, God gives me everything. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything. Joy is my source, joy is my power, joy gives me everything. So I give thanks for all my blessings, joy gives me everything. Peace is my source, peace is my power, peace gives me everything. So I give thanks for all my blessings, peace gives me everything. Peace gives me everything. Says everything. Let's give a round of applause. Thank you, Deb. I love that song. That one I didn't know yet, but thank you for bringing it to us. Okay, well, it is now my joy and honor to introduce our speaker today. I'm looking for here we go. There's a piece of paper. Joy Hirshberg is joining us today to talk about the secret of the secret. And Joy offers a daily metaphysical reminder via email. So if you're interested, there is a clipboard in the back where you can leave your email address. You'll get added to that list and you'll get an uplifting, positive metaphysical message every day from Joy. So let's give her a round of applause, everybody, and welcome her to the platform.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Are we on?
Oh, sorry, I said I would turn it on and then I forgot. So you can mute me and turn.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. It's a rather bold statement. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Usually Napoleon Hill gets credit for that. But you know what? It's actually in the Gospels. In the Gospel of Matthew, it says, if you believe, you will receive whatever you ask for in prayer. And the book of Mark echoes the very same point. What you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. Our discussion today unfolds in three parts: conceive, believe, achieve. We'll explore this theme of manifesting ideas, especially as it's found in Kabbalah. As you may know, Kabbalah makes up the mystical texts of the Jewish tradition. Often the Bible also contains these points, as do other spiritual traditions. This morning we'll be weaving together many quotes and sources. Besides Napoleon Hill, they include Abigail Abrams, author of From Imagination to Reality. You can look at this later if you like. And also Lisa Taylor, author of Look Up, Look In, Look Out. Her book is at the back, and you're welcome to thumb through that. We'll be hearing from Kabbalah students Kathy Heller and Celine Rubin, several rabbis, Menachem Mendel Schneerson, Zalman of Liadi, Nachman of Breslov, and Rami Shapiro. Also Charles Fillmore, founder of Unity, Neville Goddard, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, and John Hagelin. For the sake of continuity, I'll omit naming most of the sources, but if you'd like a copy of the talk, sign up on the clipboard in the back and you'll get the talk, the footnotes, and the live links, the hot links, in your email. Anything you see in front of you now first existed in someone's imagination. The chair, the building, the clock, the flooring, we could go on and on. In fact, I like to say there isn't a thing you can think of that isn't a thought. Think about it. The conception of ideas can only take place in consciousness. Now, science used to think the brain generates consciousness and is therefore the source of thought. But Kabbalah teaches that human thoughts originate in the highest realm of consciousness. This is the viewpoint that sees only absolute unity, absolute oneness with God. Several other traditions agree that individual thoughts originate in the universal field of consciousness in what Charles Fillmore refers to as divine mind. Advaita Vedanta, for example, teaches that the human intellect possesses no light of its own. Rather, it merely reflects the light of infinite consciousness. Well, that's a lot to think about. So let's consider just how could this possibly be. First, let's agree that there's only one God and that God is divine mind, consciousness, and it's infinite. Second, let's agree that there's nothing beyond infinity. And then let's reason that divinity, being all, is the only possible source of anything, including thought. And then fourth, we can conclude that the source of thought is divine. Okay, so if we accept this, right away comes the question, well, if divinity is good, all good, where do thoughts come from that are not so good? We have to address that, but it's a whole other discussion. Just let me say briefly that Kabbalists explain that anything not good does not descend from above. The transmission from above is pure and coherent. Anything that is not good is distortion and noise, an artifact of our perception. So it really all comes down to our point of view, whether we view the world from the base of the mountain, maybe where it's really foggy and not so clear, or from the top of the mountain, where we are one with infinity. Now, part 2, believe. Does the instruction to believe or to have faith mean to think it's true? No. It means to know it's true. Knowing what's true of reality is far beyond positive thinking. In fact, it is divine thinking. There's an old Yiddish adage that says, think good and it will be good. This does not mean positive thinking, where we hope for the best or simply repeat every day, I am this, I am that. Rather, it means our absolute conviction that actually becomes the conduit that draws down God's blessings. This is because the belief that is held becomes a law to us. Talk about law and breaking the law. In Kabbalah, to manifest an idea, you have to connect with it with absolute certainty. You have to acknowledge law. It's our conviction of good that anchors our conscious thought in divine mind. Where does certainty get its power? When a person completely solidifies their faith into absolute certainty, they transcend their own ego and align their personal willpower directly with God's primal, unbounded will. So, in short, it becomes divine will be done, not personal willpower. Faith is a frequency, and when you learn how to tune into it, life starts responding in miraculous ways. I'm sure many of you could tell me stories just about that. In the book of Hebrews, we find faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Now, if you're a Bible student, you've probably noticed that Jesus is often recorded as giving thanks even before a healing or before a miracle. Expressing gratitude for your desire as if it had already manifested amplifies the energy of what you have assumed and know to be true. Now, doubts may come up, but Charles Fillmore says simply, if doubts come in, do not entertain them. In fact, whenever I have doubts, I return to the self, return to bliss. In other words, Neville says, pick out a lovely state, go right into it, and dwell there. He says this is called occupying the state and thinking from it instead of thinking about it. In my experience, there's nothing more important than bliss consciousness. It's the simplest form of awareness. And we're always there, but we're not always conscious of it. This dwelling place is our true dwelling place, and it's the secret place of the Most High. What are the mechanics at work there? Well, Maharishi answers this question. He says, when consciousness is in its simplest state, it is able to transform itself into anything desired. This is the dignity of human awareness, a lively field of all possibilities. We mentioned The Secret. How many of you saw The Secret maybe a few years ago? Anyone? Many of you. Well, Professor John Hagelin at MIU appeared in the movie. In a recent video, he says, if you can get familiar and comfortable in the transcendent and plant one foot there, so to speak, be awake to that level while you're thinking also at the tenderest, subtlest level of thought. That juxtaposition of subtle, powerful thought anchored in pure being is the secret behind the secret. This is worth repeating, or at least exploring further. He says the secret behind the secret is to transcend, go to the subtlest levels of thought, and even transcend the subtlest levels of thought and project a desire from there. Nature then picks up that desire, and you will find your goals and desires being fulfilled with the effortlessness that is promised in the secret, but not often delivered. Kabbalah reminds us that bliss is not merely incidental to your spiritual quest. It is vital. Bliss is not the gift at the end of the road. Bliss is the lantern that shows you where to go. Without it, prayer is paper in the wind. Now, Neville Goddard, I mentioned him already. He was a Christian man from Barbados who lived in New York City and studied the Bible for years with Abdullah, a Kabbalist rabbi from Ethiopia. To manifest a goal, he learned to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. To assume the feeling of the wish already fulfilled is to transcend the finest aspect of belief or faith beyond any words we might utter or even think. He says, by assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you are setting your dominant emotional tone to one of having rather than one of wanting. Now, with regard to part 3, let's look at some actual achievements. In the 1970s, I found myself in a competition with several others for a political appointment in Michigan state government. There was an opening for the executive director of the Consumers Council. Their mandate was to represent consumers, be their advocate before the legislature. These were big shoes to fill. The previous director had been a longtime state senator, and the director before her was an attorney who had left to become vice president of a major corporation. This 9-member council was made up of 5 Republicans and 4 Democrats. Now, at the time, I was press secretary to the Democratic Attorney General, and the press reported someone else was a sure shoo-in. A friend of mine in the National Women's Political Caucus told me I should apply. But like Moses, when God gave him an assignment, I had excuses. I'm too young to direct a state agency. I was only 25. I've never hired, fired, or supervised staff. I know nothing about annual government budgets. I've never been a lobbyist. That's not me. Plus, I told her that the Republicans would never vote for a Democrat, especially the Attorney General's press secretary. My friend said, if you were a young man, you wouldn't say that. I had to admit she was right. Now, this conversation was a few months after I'd learned transcendental meditation. In the deep bliss of that evening's meditation, an entire strategy unfolded in my thought on exactly how to get 5 votes of the 9. Capture the fort. Go for the highest first. These are basic principles of the science of creative intelligence. It meant I only needed really the top Republican, who was the director of commerce, and the top Democrat, who was my boss. I just knew it was a done deal. I could feel it in my bones. Well, after meditation that day, guess what? I began to have doubts. But the bliss did return in subsequent meditations, and then the doubts just vanished. At some point every morning, I was inspired to play Helen Reddy's album, I Am Woman, as I got ready for work. Turns out that's actually one of the techniques in this book of Abiola's. I didn't know it, of course. Whenever I looked into the mirror, I literally saw myself in the role of the agency's director. This routine went on for some weeks. In short, both my boss and the director of commerce pledged their votes to me. I won on the 3rd ballot when each in turn signaled their votes were not going to change. To be clear, I did not know at the time that conceiving in bliss and gratitude and having an unshakable confidence was key to achievement. But I do now. This lesson has served me well for many, many years. The movie The Secret calls this the law of attraction. Neville calls it Kabbalah's law of assumption. I call it the law of bliss. Recently, I shared the law of bliss with one of my associates. She understood immediately and shared that some 40 years ago, after 13 years of marriage and no children, she was inspired to visit fertility experts at the University of Iowa Medical Center. Their conclusion: no possibility for pregnancy. She was devastated. Then she remembered something she'd heard Maharshi say. It's our joy to be impossible. Maybe, she thought, the experts were wrong. This blissful memory gave her hope, but she didn't stop with hope. Soon the thought came to purchase a baby blanket. She then proceeded to rock that baby, nurse it, sing to it, and cherish it day after day. And as she did so, she says she could really see a little face peek out. She was rewarded with the birth of a son and another son a few years later. I have another example, but I think we'll save that for another time. Just to say briefly, this was a woman who had an abscessed tooth, and this went on for some time. And there was always progress. There was more and more time between the eruptions. And eventually, when she learned of the law of assumption, she practiced it. One of the techniques is to have the feeling, and as you're falling asleep, that's when you float in those feelings. And also when you wake up, because of course, going in and out of sleep is like going in and out of the transcendent. And at some point, she had occasion to go to the dentist and they had to take x-rays for something else. And lo and behold, the tooth was healed. So I mention these examples to illustrate that conceive, believe, achieve, this is not a fanciful formula. It's a natural cognition. Two of these women had never heard of the law of attraction, the law of assumption, or the law of bliss. The bottom line is that when you are seeking, what you are seeking is in the most extraordinary way seeking you too. Instead of asking, what do I need to do to get what I want? Ask, who do I need to be aligned with what I want? Remember, what you already want already exists spiritually in the field of all possibilities. That's this field of infinite consciousness. Conceive, believe, achieve is not new. It's universal law. That means just like gravity, it always was and always will be. The student of Kabbalah learns that life is not happening to you nor for you. Life is happening from you. Because if life is only happening to you, then you become a victim of random events. If life is happening for you, then suffering becomes a lesson. But if life is happening from you, then life becomes a mirror of infinite consciousness. To engage the law of assumption, we're called to declare the end from the beginning, because the end of an action is contained in the thought from the very first sprouting. We can summarize the core mechanics in 4 points. Number 1, consciousness is all there is. The physical world is just a projection of your inner thoughts and beliefs. Number 2, your deepest feeling is key. You must feel as if you already have your desire. Number 3, you must live in the end. That means think and act as if your goal is already achieved. And number 4, ignore physical evidence. Disregard current negative circumstances because they are just past thoughts materializing. 3 key practices from this technique. Imagine your desired end scene while deeply relaxed right before falling asleep and upon awaking. Remember, imagination is divinity in action. Be alert to your mental dialogue. It must match the reality of a person who already has their desire fulfilled. And strictly monitor and redirect negative thoughts throughout the day to maintain your assumption. Because creation is complete, what you desire already exists. The law of assumption simply brings the invisible into sight. It is nothing more nor less than seeing with the eye of God. Now you know the secret behind the secret. Thank you.
Thank you, Joy. Oh my gosh. Thank you just for sharing all of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that over here.
I'm gonna carry it over here. That's right.
So,
You can adjust it. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for that inspiring and encouraging message, Joy. And now is your opportunity to share your resources with Unity Center of Des Moines, if it is your desire to do so. We would just like to thank you ahead of time for your financial, energetic, and physical support of this building and the people that come here. There's so many things that we do outside of Sunday service, and it's all made possible by the contributions that people make. So I'd like to all say together the following affirmation. I am infinitely abundant. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I thankfully acknowledge the divine source. Thank you so much, Deb. That was beautiful music. Okay, I would like to dedicate this offering to do the work of spirit and truth to the people of Unity Center of Des Moines. And we are grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. All right, I'd like to now invite everyone to stand and follow along as Deb leads us through the words and hand motions of the universal greeting of peace.
I offer you peace.
I offer you peace.
I offer you love.
I offer you love.
I offer you friendship.
I offer you friendship.
I see your beauty.
I see your beauty.
I hear your needs.
I hear your needs.
I feel your feelings.
I feel your feelings.
My wisdom flows from the higher source.
Wisdom flows from the higher source,
And I salute that source in you.
and I salute that source in you.
Let us work together for unity and love.
Let us work together for unity and love.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for following along with that. And now I'd like to invite everyone to make a great big circle around the room. We might need to cut the room in half to get everyone so we can hold hands. If you don't want to hold hands, that is okay. Just put your hands over your heart. But yeah, let's come over this way and we'll sing the closing song together. The light of the divine surrounds us. The love of the divine enfolds us. The power of the divine protects us. The grace of the divine washes over us. Wherever we are, the divine is, and all is well. There is so much food. There's more food downstairs I'm bringing up. Please help yourself. I want to take some home, like fill yourselves up. I do get some help with chairs, 2 rows of 6 in the back, the rest along the walls. People who want to participate in healing hands, it's going to be in the back. So just let me. But just enjoy yourself, and I hope to see you next week. Thanks, everybody.